Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to another great time on The Angles, where hot topics are being discussed. My name is Mary Ibeji. Now, imagine being drawn between choosing from what could actually serve you or what could actually transform your life and your morals or principles. And now that is what we're going to be talking about in full detail today. We have a story to actually share, and we want you, our dear viewers, to be a part of today's conversation. And then before I get into the full details of the story, I'd like to introduce those on set with me this evening. It's a happy Wednesday evening, and I'm glad to announce to you that Manny Udo is on set again with us this evening. Good evening, welcome to the show.
Thank you, good evening. Thank you for having me.
And right next is Gift Onwaka. Gift, welcome again to The Angles.
Good evening, Mary. Thank you for always having me on here Wednesdays.
Yeah, by the way, you look beautiful. I love your black outfit.
Thank you.
Looks like we planned it.
I know.
You know, even with the men as well. Can you see the color code?
Oh, yeah, black and blue.
That's how we roll.
We're in the spirit.
Yeah, it's always in the spirit. And right next is Wale Wealth. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. It's good
Yes.
to be here once again.
Right. So today's story, really, it's about a lady who actually sent a message to someone on social media. And I mean, it sort of piqued our interest and we thought to weigh it. Now, she says that she got a huge deal in millions to supply products for the current government, right? And she happily told her husband about it. And now he's asking her not to take the deal because he doesn't support this current ruling party. And he's the head of the house and his word is final, she said. But I'm trying to explain to him that this money will change our lives and the current situation, but he's not having it. He says if I take it, I should forget about the family. Now she says, I know what I passed through before we pay school fees, and he's refusing for us to get such deal. I thought men would be more open than women. That's why I told him. The business is 100% owned by myself. I want to quietly take the deal and execute it and tell him I did not take it. But I'm scared if he knows in the future, he will send me packing. What can I do? I don't want to lose this contract. There has to be a way. Should I report him to my pastor because I need this money, blah, blah, blah. Wow, very interesting story. Lady and gents, this is a story. This is a true life situation right now. A lady is, crossed in between. She doesn't know what to do. On one hand, she believes that this is a business or this is a contract that would transform their family financial purse and would help in paying school fees and the likes of it. But now she's also considering the fact that her husband is the head of the home and she would like to take his words as final. Now she's also thinking of doing the business behind his back. Manny, let me come to you first. What do you make of this? What do you make of this situation?
I don't know why she's bringing it to us, because in the end of the story, she said if she wants to, she should tell her pastor, right? Mm-hmm. I've got to tell your pastor. But since you brought it to us, we'll discuss it.
Well,
we'll give our own opinion.
Not necessarily she brought it. Like I said, it's a story that piqued our interest.
Yes.
So we're talking about it.
So since we heard about it, we'll discuss it. Mm-hmm. First thing I would say, she's a wonderful lady. She's a wonderful wife. I like her mindset in the sense that she's not doing this for any personal gratification. She just wants to ease the stress in the house, in the home, which is good. Husband should appreciate it. However, the husband also has some level of stance, as it were, because I don't want to think it's this political party they're talking about, but let's remove the politics from it. But the bottom line right now is that he doesn't want to be seen as, how's the word, being helped or being given a handout, a helping hand from the opposing party because of the fact that when the colleagues hear about him, they might consider him a traitor and all those things. Those are the things from the man's point of view. It wasn't part of the story, but from a man's point of view. Because for him to go as far as saying, if you take it, then it's either you
forget the
family, that's extreme. Because she's not going to Dubai to do vacation with friends from high school. It's a job, it's a job. I think she should take it, but I think she should discuss it with him. There are ways to appeal to him to make him see reason. But of course, he has his own reason, which is also pointed. But I think she should do it, but must be totally and absolutely sure her husband is on the same page with her. because
Okay.
she doesn't want to lose the marriage. I think she'd do it, but there's a way, I'll say later, that she can go about it.
Okay. So you think she should do it?
Straight
Okay.
away.
I mean, that brings us to the topic for today. We're looking at family survival versus political loyalty. Yes. Should personal beliefs stand in the way of a life-changing opportunity? Because we can see here that the personal belief of her husband seemed to be clashing with the business that she has. And from your stance right now, you feel like she can take it. It doesn't matter what the present government is and however they are running the government. Okay, let me come to you, Wale, before I get to Gift. I like to hear the men's point of view so that we can have a balanced opinion as to this. What do you make of this story? And do you think she should do the business without her husband knowing?
Thank you once again. This is a very, I think it's a real life scenario. We have seen this played out. In fact, I also have a personal experience in something like this too.
Oh, wow.
Yes, so...
Please do share.
So the issue now is that the woman has something credible that could leave the family, sort of. But the man, based on his, I don't think it has to do with his value or belief. It has to do with his ego or some level of pride he has for himself, that I wouldn't want to be seen romancing this kind of government or getting an handout from this government or being liberated through this government that I don't like. So it's his own personal bias. So we have personal bias, so we have personal belief. So I would say it is rested on his bias, and what he thinks is what. Now, looking at the woman's side, like you said, the woman is a great woman. Number one, she came out forth to tell the man what is going on.
Yeah.
And secondly, she's trying to find a way to convince the man, I think. And thirdly, she's looking for a resolution way, talking to the pastor, how to resolve the whole matter. But the part that she mentioned was, I need the money, which is also true, which could make her make some decisions. Like the man said, if you will go for the job, you will lose the family. For me, I would think she shouldn't go. She shouldn't take the job until the man gives the go ahead, except and only if the family to her, I mean, I can do without the family and she can go ahead.
Okay, so what you're saying right now is that she should choose the struggle over paying the children's school fees, right? And rather than losing her husband in that sense, or losing her husband because of a business deal she's going to lose. You think that's a better option?
Yes, because if you cannot resolve the matter, if the matter stands, if the man stands on his word, you have to go with him.
Wow. Okay, Gift, let me hear your point.
I think she should go for the survival aspect of it, which is the fact that she should take the business. And this is because looking at what she said, and also looking at from the husband's side, he's not asking her to turn down the business because it's illegal or it's further. It's because of a political party. And when did running a business for a government or a party that you don't support, when did it become a crime? So he doesn't have a solid point as to, giving that. And also looking at the marriage aspect, we know that as Christians, marriage is a partnership that should be built on love, understanding, and mutual respect. So you saying, I am the head of the home, if you cannot do this, then you forget about the marriage. I just feel like that's way overboard. So I would tell her to go for it, because it's actually what would she, like Manny said, it's not something that is for her own personal or selfish interest. It's something for the family. Because she said in that story, she said, mind you, paying school fees is they always source for money. They look for money to pay for school fees and also take care of children in the home. So I mean, looking at all of that, and you have an opportunity to get a contract of millions of naira, why would you tell your wife to turn it down because it's not in support? So let's turn the ball here. If it was in a party where he was in support of, would he have told his wife to go for it? So I would tell her to go for it.
Okay, let me paint a scenario here with the average Nigerian who do not support the current government. The scenario is not a good one in the sense that you go on social media and you see all of the complaints, the dragging and all that. Nobody actually think anything is working at this point. Even though we don't want to believe so. And now, that person with that mindset has a wife, and then the wife says, I got this contract. To him, he's embittered by what's happening in the current government and feels like if you are going to take their money, then you're part of them. You're doing, you're more like you're dining with the devil. And I do not believe in that because of the pain they have. We're looking at the high cost of transportation, high cost of PMS, electricity on the rise. Recently, food prices have gone high again. A couple of months back, we saw basket of tomatoes were quite cheap. Now you can barely buy even tomatoes of 1,000 naira. So a lot of things going on in this current government that makes it look like, not to even add the insecurity issues that we have now.
In our ministry, you see there comes, I like to thank my man of God, my mentor, my coach, you hear all those things because they are listening to him.
But what if also it may not be an issue of ego for the man? Perhaps he discerned that this is not going to have a positive ending and he doesn't want her to take the job. Could that happen? That's one. Then secondly, is it every business deal that lands on your table that you should take as, a Christian?
Then the man should come out and give the analysis of, okay, this is what, if you do this would come out.
But the issue here is this.
Like
the man will not say that till the atmosphere is less tense. Yeah. The atmosphere right now is tense. So you will not listen, you know whatever. When you touch that button, then you can now listen to
Manny, please hold on. Yes,
sorry, go ahead.
So if there's a problem, like a real business problem or risk in the business, the man should come out and talk about it. Now, if he's not talking about it, like Nnamdi said, he's probably not saying certain things. So I wouldn't want to say because of the woman should have to find a way to the man's heart, but certain way you have to, because it's important to you now. This contract, this job is important to you. So you have to find a way. You have to get a way to get the job done. That's the truth, because...
Which job are you talking about?
Especially when you're a salesperson.
Is it the business?
The business, yes.
Okay, not to clear the husband to approve.
No, it's the way. You have to clear
find a way to talk to clear.
Like as a salesperson, no matter the objection you get from your clients or your prospects, there is a way to find that moment button in your prospect or your clients as a salesperson. Right now, she's a salesperson. She has to find a way to convince the man.
Yeah, a salesperson. That's the partner.
No.
The way you convince your client, your prospect, your potential client is different from how you convince your husband.
Right now.
Your husband two shall become one.
So men
should quit saying, I am the head of the home.
No, but
but Jesus does not remind us that he's the head of the church.
But we forget sometimes.
But Jesus does not remind us that he's but we know that he's the head of the church.
See, listen right now. It's like me, when you are married, there's a particular complaint that comes after several years. When last you tell me I love you?
But you know to know
a national issue. But what's the response?
National issue.
Every married man goes to this issue. I'm with you, my guys. I'm with you. So you also want to. But I told you when I bought the car, I got the house, I bought you jewelry, I bought you stuff. That's not that. When last you tell me I love you? So you're telling me that the man should stop saying.
But when last did you say it? Really, that's a question that needs an answer. Why are you evading it?
Exactly.
It's a question. I've been asking questions and you've been answering. It's just a simple question. Why do men have to cover up with
things like that?
It's
covering up.
We see the way you express.
They will tell you that men don't love with emotions.
You said it.
They will tell you men don't love with emotions.
I'm sorry for that.
Okay, the phone lines are still open. I would like for you to be a part of this. Now, but what I want to get straight from today's conversation is that, is it wrong for her to take the job because of this current ruling party? We want to clear that out now.
It's not wrong. It's not wrong. And
it's not wrong.
Yeah. Supporting does not. Then we could say all the banks, all the other things that all these politicians have here and there. They should also close their businesses too.
Indirectly, this man is benefiting from the ruling party.
Yes.
In what way? Explain.
See, money is coming into the home, the welfare of the home.
Let me use the normal infrastructure development now, or whatever it is. One way or the other, you are benefiting from what the government is doing. Whether through your children, or through your wife, or through your family, extended nuclear, anyhow, and even you. Once you plow the road, the tarred road, you're benefiting from it. Even though it's your right, even though it's what you should get, but they did it. You have good roads now. You can go to the bank and get easy transaction done. There are policies that they put there to make life easy for you. So one way or the other, you are benefiting from the government. So if you are being selective with what you choose or what you allow, it's just you saying that I am biased. That's why I started with saying that the man is very biased. It's not about personal belief or value.
So you don't see it as integrity, refusing such. No. So now this brings me to a deeper concern about the average Nigerian. Do you think that Nigerians are so... they have this should I say holier than thou attitude in certain things that doesn't really count for anything eventually, trying to be morally upright, quick to judge, quick to, castigate the other person. But somehow you find them in their own acts, doing the exact same thing that they are actually fighting other people for. Do you think it's in a way limiting Nigerians from actually actualizing their fullest potential, especially in the world of business? For instance, let's talk about, let's say, the Central Bank of Nigeria, working there, and we want to start comparing the fact that, things are not good in the economy. And then people say, then why are you working there? Or that means you are beginning to parley with all of those things. Don't you think in a way it sort of reduces an average Nigerian potential of, being all they are meant to be?
Well, the funniest thing is this. As long as those people feel that way, right, they will automatically become that way. It still goes back to who are you listening to? Are you listening to what your president is saying? Are you listening to what God is saying, right? So those are your driving forces, because the information you receive from either of the parties is what used to drive your life, right? You can drive in towards the divine life, or you can drive in towards the hellish life. The choice is always everybody's own, right? And when you say Nigerian, I won't say only some Nigerians, it's all over the world. Because when Jesus Christ was here, we had the Sadducees, the Pharisees, and the whatever seeds. They were everywhere, right? So, and they always form the holier than thou. Yeah. So you always have hypocrites around you. Bible, Jesus said the poor you have, well, no matter how we want to make everybody a millionaire, the poor will still be there. There's no story about it. What is important is that you take a standpoint of where and how you want to run. It's about your choices, right? Now, back to this man. It's not only ego, like we said, the story is not complete. Why he said what he said has a background.
He said he doesn't support the ruling party. He said it's...
No, supporting the ruling party is not just it. Because the money is overly more than the support. The money is a lot of money. And it will relieve the pressure of whatever. So you have to, listen, like I said, marriage is about partnership. You find a solution to our problem. And I'm not saying because of the tie I'm wearing, I cannot touch the solution. No. You have to understand. That's why marriage is about understanding. It's not about anybody trying to prove a point or competing.
Now, I'd like for us to take the buzz. Let's get to see people's reaction as regards this conversation. Esther says, hope you have started procurement. I think that your husband is insecure because of how much the deal will get you. Why are you afraid of losing the family? Is he not also losing the family by sending you packing? Okay, Esther. Cynthia, someone who doesn't have money wants to send you packing and you they fear? Who is the breadwinner in the family if you'll be the one paying school fees? Last time I checked, now who get money, they call the shots. If he says you shouldn't take the deal, make him find another deal for you that will bring that equivalent. But then, what do I kuku know? I know they put mouth for husband and wife matter. Thank you, Cynthia. Lola says, if my business would be used to further destroy a nation, may their money go to hell. I know it is easier said than done, but integrity and personal principles matter. Victoria, my husband will take leave from work to help execute the job and collect his share. We will still vote our preferred candidates. Madam, collect your money at least 90% upfront from politicians. Do your supply. Keep your money in an account he doesn't know. Clean your mouth. If he asks you later, tell him you gave the job to a friend or you turned it down. Heaven wouldn't fall. I come in peace, Victoria. Are you sure? Philip says, but both wicked and good people eat food, buy foodstuff, household items. Do we refuse to sell to them because they are evil? We bought vehicles with and work with witches and wizards, yet we still accommodate them and keep moving. Well, check the history of your husband. Has he had a history of being insecure, angry at your successes, or trying to clamp your growth? This one says, well, I have a strategy for you. Can't share publicly here. You can reach out for a professional session. Wishing you all the best. Urban, I strongly believe that it depends on his motive. Your husband is your priest, and if he's coming from the angle that he has prayerfully sensed a commotion from the business deal, then you should listen to him. He is your husband. What is he like? What is his past record like? Is he coming from a place of care and careful analysis? Is he fully occupying his office as a priest in your home? Wow, very interesting landing question there. I think which pretty much summarizes what we've been talking about so far, because like Manny said earlier, that we need to understand where the husband is coming from, his motive, his angles, and, you know, to weigh them. If it's coming from a sensitive standpoint, like a spiritual standpoint, then it's something that you cannot do without, right? If it's coming from the finality of do not take it as well, then because the fact that, oh, he's your husband, you want to also consider his final words in this regard. But let me pick your brain gift on the boss so far. What do you have to say?
I feel irrespective of the sides that we're on, I don't think it's right to sideline your husband from or go against, you know, like what the other lady said, going behind him, do it, then you clean your mouth and tell him you did. No, I know, irrespective of the sides that we're on, I don't think I'm in support of that. We must definitely understand that our husbands are our master and Lord, and it's just very right that we inform them. And if they say no, it's like what the men said, it's our responsibility to make sure that we convince them and get them to be on our side, and they give their approval.
So, but let's make it personal for you. If this happens to you in that situation, what would you do? He keeps saying no. You think this is a good deal? What would you do as gift?
I would want to first of all find out why, because to me the reason that he's saying is really not enough for me. And if he stands on that, I would escalate it, you know, either to family members or to our pastor. You know, that's what I would do. But I must get a higher approval before I go ahead.
Higher approval from where?
Maybe my pastor tells me to go ahead and do
so you obey your pastor over your husband. Is that what you're saying?
That's the topic for
Okay, let's leave it as that.
No, my pastor would definitely talk to my husband. That's why I said.
What's your pastor see eye to eye with him in that regard? You never can tell. You know, you might be going to talk to your pastor thinking that he would take sides with you, right? And then you get there, it's not the situation.
It seems like I'm at fault with what the other lady said.
Well, I want to ask you, this boss, where is this boss come from? Because there were more females that responded to this boss, and all of them were sounding very, very. I think they need to see their passport. The response, I'm surprised. I'm shocked. I thought only sisters were here.
Okay,
Chop it and clean out. No. This is very concerning.
Interesting. Now we have to wrap up. But Wale, let me start with you. What will be your final take on this?
Yeah,
situation?
I'll go with the last person that said you have to find the record of your husband, the past record. What are the things that he has given instruction on? How did they turn out? Then if he's a good decision maker, then you can go with him.
If it's a bad decision maker over here.
Seek a higher counseling, a pastor, a leader that you listen to. Let them talk to him. And if he still says no, then opportunities will always come. Let it go.
Okay. Gifts, your final words.
Your final words is, I think the issue here shouldn't be more about politics. It should be ethical. Is it legal? If it's fraudulent, illegal, and all of that, then you reject it. But if it's not illegal, if it's good, then I think a political party or being in support of it should not be the reason why you should reject the offer.
Okay, thank you. Money.
Government contract legal. Okay, for me, like I said from the beginning, one, it's two people in this situation, they are the same both. So they have to sit and reason it. There is no two way about the matter. Why is he saying no? Because right now, school fees will be due. So why is he saying no? If he can clearly state that, then she just takes it. If he doesn't, just leave it and just go. Because, like I said also, more contracts will come. It's not, you can't, listen, you cannot risk your family. Yeah.
What if God was the one that brought this one?
God will bring another one. It doesn't end.
Okay. I like that. I like that.
When they say opportunity comes but
beware
once.
temptation.
Opportunity comes but once. You've closed it. How do you know? Did you know the next time?
Is that the Bible?
I didn't say it's in the Bible. We don't know the next time the opportunity will come.
I listen up to such conversations.
We're going to continue this band off air. But you all have weighed on a very important matter, and I think it's neither here nor there. But just to mention the fact that Wale mentioned the idea that in the Bible days, we had Joseph working for Egypt. We had seven Pharaoh. We had Daniel who served pagans, in Babylon, the king of Babylon as well. And we have instances where our Lord Jesus Christ was with tax collectors and the likes of, you also mentioned the idea of Samaritan. There was a day I was reading the scripture, and I think I mentioned on my post, I said, I've seen the Samaritans twice now in scripture, and they were used for good examples to actually compare with those that are the Jews. And so that was a lesson to learn from that, God made us all. Now, this doesn't mean that when you see evil, you rightly step into it and say, okay, you want to dine with evil. No. So at the end of the day, Paul talked about conscience in the book of Romans. So whatever you do, you weigh it with your conscience, with your spirit, to understand if what you're doing is right or wrong. The Spirit of God is ever so willing to lead us in, whatever we do. And again, as business owners, be discerning of the kind of businesses you go into. Some businesses will put people into trouble. I was in church last week, and our pastor was prophesying and saying that there was someone here who was already going into a business deal that was going to implicate him. But as a result of, prayers and prophecies that were going on, the Lord had vindicated him. Just think about that. A brother in church, innocently, going into a business deal. So at the end of the day, it's just beyond what is right or wrong. It's about how you're led of the Spirit. And even as Christians, when we are among the people of the world as well, we are no better than them, and they're no better than us. We are only trying to make them come into the kingdom of God's dear Son. So there has to be balance to all of these things. And I think that is where we're going to wrap up the show for today. Many thanks for watching, and thank you guys for coming and sit with me.
Thank you for having us.
So until come your way next time, have a fabulous one.
And go to church.
Bye-bye.